Hey, what's up guys, it's Crypto Mar, and today I'm going to be going over the top 3 altcoins that I'm watching going into September and October, which could potentially be very bullish depending on what Bitcoin does. I'm going to show you guys some technical as well as fundamental reasons behind my picks and what's causing some of these cryptocurrencies to rally so hard off of their bottoms. I'm going to start out with Bitcoin here. Bitcoin was around this 5,800 bottom where we saw quite a bit of support. There was a whale actually that was able to hold the 6,300 level. That was just so much selling occurred trying to break that level. However, there was just a whale that was able to defend these levels, and we've seen a rally ever since. We rallied into the 6,700 resistance, broke through that, and now we're facing the 7,100 resistance, which it looks like we've got quite a bit of momentum going into it, which is a very good sign. We did see quite a bit of sell-off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times we basically tested this and got rejected. So this would be very bullish if we broke this and consider to continue the upward momentum that we have going right now for us. And either way, I want to scroll out here just to give you guys some perspective that we are still in a bear market, and we have been ever since February. Well, technically like since the drop in December, but ever since February we've just been forming this very bearish channel of lower highs and lower lows. But this breaking this resistance here would be the first step in order to get some momentum going into the top of this channel. So it's definitely something to watch here in the next couple days, what Bitcoin does. If we're able to break above this, we have quite a bit of room to go to mid 7,000s, and mid 7,000s, we're definitely within striking distance here of the top of this channel. And that's definitely something to watch going into September. That's going to be the main thing that I think people are watching. The other possibility is that we reject from here. We did form this higher low here above 67.35 when we broke that. However, we did see quite a bit of selling from this. So it's kind of just a reevaluate thing. See if we can bounce off of this support. Now that we've broken that, this was a very solid support level. Let me see. Yeah, this was tested quite a bit in the past, so that's definitely a good level to watch in terms of a bounce if we do break down 67.35 being that support. So that's what Bitcoin's doing. And now let's get into some alts. Like I said, I'm gonna be providing some technical as well as fundamental reasons why I'm watching these coins. The first one being VeChain, which is been killing it off of its lows. I posted this on Twitter, a trade I made off of the lows, and that's currently up 124% over like roughly 2 weeks. So that's great to see. This sell-off that we had down here, anytime you see a sell-off, this was like 33% in one day that VeChain was down. And anytime you see a coin with such solid fundamentals go down that much in one day, that's almost a considered like guaranteed buy, because you see if you bought any of these last couple candles, especially this like capitulation where we really started to get deep, if you would have bought this, you would have at least had one green bar of profit to sell right there and take profit. However, you did see this giant rally. This typically doesn't happen this way. Typically you can at least make a couple percent off the bottom here, and it just will kind of consolidate or something. But VeChain just broke way back up. Again, such solid fundamentals on this project that buyers really started to step in with confidence. We hadn't seen these levels. This was at roughly 6 cents that VeChain was, or no, sorry, 6/10 of a cent that VeChain was sitting at. So that we hadn't seen that level since roughly like September/October of last year, so 1 year. We really bounced hard off of that, and we're kind of forming this bull flag here of a nice uptrend going on. And I do see a really solid trade opportunity here. We're kind of about to test the bottom of this channel, and I'm definitely watching this support level. Very tight stop loss that you could put on this, and just easily just buy this right around here. If it breaks below or breaks one of this, or breaks this support, sorry, then you're out, not for much percentage loss. But I think that it's definitely possible that we test the top of this channel and even break out of this going into September, considering all of the news that's going to be coming out for VeChain. Here's the fundamentals of it, that they're going to be announcing a new automobile giant on the 5th of September, so that's 5 days from now. So hopefully this isn't priced in too much. However, I think that all this hype could really start to grow around this. I don't think that this is very well known in the crypto space, these announcements. So you know, when these are announced, I think that we could see some positive price action. Hopefully it's not just buy the rumor, sell the news. But nonetheless, either way, VeChain's a very long-term pick for me, so I'm just kind of buying the dips and accumulating. But anyways, we're gonna see more Fortune 500 companies come onto the platform. That's all of these companies. I'll get into that in a second, as well as 2 major government projects announced this September, as well as a big insurance company to be announced. So really big use cases here you can see for VeChain. All of that you can start to tell on the block explorer here. Going to September, I'm going to be watching this thing like a hawk to watch whether these transactions really start to pick up going into September, and that's when you're really going to see the adoption of VeChain start to be noticed, in my opinion. That's when people are going to start to, that's going to be the catalyst that people see how big of a project this is, and all the problems, the real world problems that this project is solving. So here I just want to go over this real quick. The little spikes, this was likely a stress test on the network going into September. So that's what these are, just if anyone was wondering. In my opinion, it's bullish more than anything that they had to do a stress test to you know, see how the network would hold up going into September with all these companies moving onto the mainnet. Anyways, this big insurance company, I want to go into that now and how that relates to Icon with the news that recently came out 2 days ago for them. And I apologize for that. There's a couple cars going by on the street right now that I can't really control. Anyways, how Icon partnered with the biggest insurance firm in Korea to build blockchain apps. This was huge news that came out for Icon the other day. Basically, Icon had a pilot project with the government and Kyobo, and basically they got very good feedback about it, and eventually hospitals, insurance providers will all be using Icon for formal operation starting in October. So that's very bullish news. This is why it's a top pick for me for September and October, that we really can see these use cases start to grow with Icon, and as more and more companies, real companies, get onto their blockchain, they're going to start recommending it, providing good feedback, and getting more and more adoption growing for Icon. And I think that on my channel, it's something that I really like to focus on, is adoption. And it's really interesting that VeChain and Icon are being leaders in the space when it comes to major partnerships with, you know, Korea's biggest insurance firm. VeChain, you got this whole list over here of partnerships, many of these being multi-billion-dollar revenue companies. So, you know, if we see this big insurance company, depending on how large it is, you know, we really start to see Icon and VeChain leading the pack in terms of global blockchain adoption. And finally, the third cryptocurrency that I want to mention in this video is Nano. Nano had the most significant bounce out of all of them, off of these lows here, going into, regarding the middle of August. And we saw it at one point rally nearly 300% off of the lows, which is just an insane rally. This thing definitely is going to need some time to cool off here. Currently we're up around 200% from the lows, so something that I'm watching in Icon is that we're seeing just a lot of selling around here. Wait, I don't even think I went over the chart for Icon. Okay, I'll go back to that then. So Nano actually is it formed this very bullish leg up here, but nevertheless it could just be another low here that is formed, another lower high. Sorry, I cannot speak right now, guys. It could just be another lower high here on the chart, followed by another down move. This right here would be a very, very bullish entry in my opinion, a very good trade to pick up around the 33,000 Satoshi level for Icon. That little green box you got there. We've seen quite a bit of price action around this level, and we haven't tested it yet, so the first time that a support is tested is the most likely that it's going to bounce. So this would be a very high probability play that if you get Icon into this, or sorry, Nano into this level, this green box here, that I would consider that a buy. And yet obviously you have to back test and look at what Bitcoin's doing, but I would consider that a very strong buy for Icon. No, sorry, Nano. I don't know what I'm saying here, guys. And you know, we do see this uptrend going on now in Nano, and you know, you want to buy here and you could reap the benefits of this uptrend going on. And okay, finally we have Icon. I think I'm finally saying the name right here. Yes, Icon Bitcoin, and we did see quite a nice rally from the lows here. I think we're up about 60-70% here from the lows. Obviously not quite as significant as the other two, but bullish nonetheless. We are forming this nice little uptrend going on here, but we are seeing quite a bit of selling with these wicks at the 1322 Satoshi level. So it's probably pretty likely that this support's going to break. It already looks like it is. I would look for Icon to bounce into this green box where we've seen several wicks go into this price line, as well as resistance here. So I'm definitely looking at Icon to bounce here at 1135 Satoshis, followed by a nice move up to continue this uptrend. So those are the top three picks, both fundamentally and technically, all three in an uptrend now, breaking out of this giant long-term downtrend. So you love to see that. A lot of fundamentals going on for all these coins, as well as technicals. I don't even know if I went over this, but Roblox or Nano did a stress test where their peak transactions per second was 306. So great news for them that they're testing the network, making sure everything is scaling properly. And more importantly, I think I saw some news from Nano recently that they were the cryptocurrency that raised a bunch of money for Venezuela to buy Venezuelans food. And I think that that's just such a great thing for you know, not only charity but also adoption. When you think Nano, it's a very grassroots project that you know, is going to have a big impact on the market, considering the number of transactions it can do, its scalability. It's very efficient, and it's also very green. It's just all around a great currency. So I think that Nano is definitely going to be a long-term winner. And around these lows, you know, you want to be picking it up before it starts uptrending even more. So like I said, these are the price targets that I'm watching for all these. And yeah, leave a comment down below if you did enjoy this video. If you found it informative, please remember to leave a like, as well as subscribe or recommend it to a friend. It really helps me out more than you guys know. Check me out on Twitter, Patreon, whatever you guys want to do. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.